Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into the discovery of Colobus congoensis. This is a massive breakthrough in African primatology and honestly a pretty fascinating scientific detective story set deep within the Congo Basin. We're talking about one of the absolute rarest events in modern science right now, finding a completely new large mammal that's essentially been hiding in plain sight.
So you might be wondering, how often is a new primate actually discovered? Well, you'd think we've mapped every large mammal on Earth by now, right? Between satellite imagery and global expeditions, uncovering a completely unknown monkey is extraordinarily rare today. I mean, just how rare is it?
To put it in perspective, this discovery represents only the fifth new species of African monkey to be identified in the past 75 years. 5. That is a staggeringly small number, which makes the breakthrough we're exploring today a major milestone in primatology. Okay, moving on to Section 1, the Likweli discovery. Our story takes place in the remote Democratic Republic of Congo, focusing on a cryptic creature known to a few local hunters as the Likweli, which actually translates to branch shaker. Now, if you look at the timeline of this discovery, it is absolutely wild. It took nearly 2 decades from the very first blurry clue back in 2008 to gather enough hard evidence for a formal scientific publication in 2026. And right in the middle of all that, around 2012, researchers actually stumbled upon a completely different new monkey species, the Lusula, right in this exact same region. It wasn't until 2018 that a clear photo of the Likweli finally surfaced, which is what really set the scientific verification into high gear. As primatologist Dr. Chris Gilbert points out, finding a second new monkey species in the Lomami National Park region just a decade after the Lusula is quite frankly astounding luck. He says it's about as likely as lightning striking in the same spot twice. It really proves this specific area is a massive, incredibly undocumented frontier for biodiversity. Section 2. An evolutionary breakthrough. So, what exactly did the scientists find when they finally tracked the Likweli down? Just picture this. A striky, mask-like face with these vivid pinkish-orange cream lips and nose, standing out sharply against really glossy, silky black fur. It's a relatively small monkey, weighing in around 15 pounds, with a very distinctive white patch around its tail area. But it's not just how they look, it's how they sound. They let out this rapid, pulse-like roar, mixed with a distinctive snort that just echoes through the high forest canopy, especially right at dawn. And this brilliantly illustrates the evolutionary mystery at the heart of this whole thing. Extensive genetic and skull analyses confirmed the Likweli, now officially Colobus congoensis, is indeed a distinct species. Now here's the crazy part. Its closest genetic relative is the black Colobus. But geographically speaking, they're separated by 1,200 kilometers of African landscape. On top of that, genetic testing shows their evolutionary path split an estimated 4.1 to 5 million years ago. That marks one of the oldest known evolutionary splits within the entire Colobus lineage. Which brings us to Section 3, the ecological mystery. This evolutionary split leads us directly into an incredible geographic puzzle about exactly where this monkey can actually survive. So the crucial takeaway here is that this new species is trapped in an incredibly tiny geographic footprint of just 1,700 square kilometers. For some context on that, most other known species in this genus have massive ranges exceeding 60,000 square kilometers. So the Likweli's world is remarkably and dangerously small. You're probably asking, why is their home so restricted? Well, the landscape itself acts like a natural fence. To the west, you have the Lomami River, which is over 200 meters wide. To the east, smaller rivers and ancient, nutrient-poor white sand soils basically act as an ecological prison. The Likweli is what we call a habitat specialist. They rely heavily on the deep, clay soils of the high canopy forest. They simply cannot thrive in the surrounding poorer environments, completely preventing them from expanding their territory. Section 4. Threats to survival. Unfortunately, having such a highly restricted range means the Likweli is facing a severe existential crisis from the very moment we're getting to formally know that. With a rapidly growing human population expanding right into the park's buffer zones, and for the record, the DRC's population is growing at an estimated 3.2% annually, these rare monkeys are severely threatened. They're facing mounting pressure from uncontrolled bushmeat hunting and rapid habitat conversion. Because they're completely confined to these highly fragmented islands of their preferred terra firma forest, literally any loss of that primary forest canopy is absolutely devastating to their numbers. Now on to Section 5, Pathways to Protection. Look, discovering a species is only the very first step. Now the scientific community, working alongside the local government, really has to race to save it. This quote right here from Dr. Kate Detweiler captures the absolute urgency of the situation. She points out how much remains to be documented and how urgent it is to protect this small area. We are finding precious biodiversity right on the very edge of losing it forever. It shows us exactly how vital the Congo Basin is and why we need to pay immediate attention to these fragile ecosystems. So, to secure their future, step one is pushing for an immediate endangered classification on the IUCN Red List. But, paperwork alone isn't going to cut it. Step two means we need critical, strictly enforced anti-poaching measures and hunting controls. And step three, which might be the most important, is that long-term success requires deep, active partnerships with the local communities living in those buffer zones. We have to empower them to become the primary stewards of the Likweli's home. Finally, Section 6, the future of Lomami. This brings us to the wider impact for the incredible yet incredibly fragile Congo Basin. Ultimately, the story of the Likweli is a massive scientific triumph, for sure, but it is also a sobering reminder. Earth's rarest creatures really might vanish before the world even knows they exist. We have to ask ourselves, how many other incredible species are just hiding out there in these undocumented forests? And more importantly, will we protect their home before it's too late? If you found this update helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with fellow members. For more deep dives into the latest environmental regulations and industrial news, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.